All right, guys, so we're talking about the driver again. Last week we talked about our angle of attack, and that was where we're hitting the driver in an up and down sense. So, what we're going to talk about this week is left and right, where we hit the club and the ball on the club face is extremely important. It's a very, very important concept to hitting the ball straight. I think it's one that's very, 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 very vastly overlooked when we start looking at, how do the professionals hit the ball really far and really straight. Their ability to hit the center of the club face is second to none, and that trumps any speed that they create for their ability to get the ball to go far, because a couple of things happen. When we don't hit the center of the face, we lose ball speed. The golf club is meant to trampoline the ball off the club face right out of the middle. Now, the other thing that happens, and this is where you see in our Dustin Johnson video, and I'm going to show you a clip of a swing that Dustin Johnson made, is something called gear effect. So let's look at what Dustin did first.
And Dustin Johnson on the tee, all the way over on the right-hand side. Oh, man, there's something you don't see all that often.
That's headed left, and it's so far left, David, that's going to be over somewhere near the 13th tee.
I'll take a look at the head of the golf club here at impact. There's some torque on it.
Oh, when
got
he hit that out on the toe?
Right.
So as you see on Dustin's, and I hear this a lot of times from students, is when they're hitting the ball, they feel like, oh, the club twisted in my hands, and they think they did something to twist the club in their hands. But in reality, you can see the impact, and this is a collision when we are hitting the ball and the club face, when they're running into each other. I mean, it's literally a wreck when it happens. You can see how it can get a little squirrely if you don't hit the center of the face with that club face down at the bottom from what you saw with Dustin's. So you're trying to get that club to hit in the center of the face, because what happens is, again, this thing called gear effect. So when I hit the driver on the toe, even though the face opens up, what happens is this golf club actually starts to deform, and it actually starts to work itself around the golf ball, which then puts the side spin on it to go the other direction. The same thing happens if you hit it on the heel. The heel hit will actually hit, it'll close, but again, the golf club starts to deform, and it actually slides across the golf ball, and it makes it spin the other direction. So it can be a little bit confusing, if you say, all right, hey, I'm hooking the golf ball, but we hit it on the toe, you might not be making like a hook golf swing at all. So a lot of people will start trying to fix the hook, saying, all right, I'm swinging two inside out or whatever. Or if they're slicing it and they're hitting it on the heel, oh, I got to swing more from the inside, but then they're hitting it on the heel still, and it's still fading. So you want to make sure that club is being hit in the middle before you really start to make changes. Now, the best way is we take a little bit of foot powder, okay, and we'll spray it on the club face, and we'll make a couple swings. And here's a picture of what that would look like for impact. So as you go through and you're looking at how you hit the ball, gear effect, it's something you want to be aware of. It has a major influence. You can see the shot that Dustin hit. I mean, it went still a good amount of distance, but they're playing in Mexico where it's 8,700 feet or 7,700 feet. It's a lot up in the air. So it had some of that, but you can see it went way offline, and he had no control over the golf ball. So hitting that club in the middle of the face, number one way to get the most distance you can, but also keeping that ball in play more often.